fuck?
Black power! Black power! Black power!
Is America in a race war? Have the blacks taken over?
2, 4, 6, 8. This time you cannot escape. 2, 4, 6, 8. This time you cannot escape. 2. Got to go! Hey! Ho, ho! These racist teachers have got to go! Hey!
Oh no, forgive me. It's just a college campus.
These racist teachers have got to go! Hey! Ho, ho!
Hey, what's up? I'm Tyler from TheOpenDebate, and this is Evergreen State College, where they have an annual Day of Absence and Day of Presence, where white students will attend anti-racial classes and assemblies off campus, and students of color will remain on campus and seemingly complain about being oppressed for being a minority, I guess. This year, I guess things were a little bit different. The white students and the white faculty members were asked to specifically leave campus, where in other years they would voluntarily leave. They had the option, and I guess most people would obviously attend. But this provoked a little bit of controversy. So there was a biology professor, Brett Weinstein, who wrote an email basically calling everybody out for being racist for changing the policies, and in return he has been deemed racist. Yeah, of course. There's an article on campusreform.org. Right, well, I'm just gonna check out a bit of this information. Alright, so I'm basically just gonna read you parts of this article, and I will link it in the description below. Titled, White Prof Harassed for Questioning Diversity Event. Hundreds of students marched through campus at Evergreen State College to protest what they considered rampant racism at the school. Doesn't sound good. Students are calling for the resignation of Evergreen State College professor who questioned the school's request that white people vacate campus during a day-long event for people of color. The school has long hosted an annual event, two-part event, known as the Day of Absence and Day of Presence, which traditionally begins with a day of off-campus programming for students of color, the Day of Absence, that coincides with an on-campus workshops for the white population, followed by the Day of Presence, during which students compare notes from the experience. Alright. So this year, however, the Cooper Point Journal reports that the format was flipped in response to complaints from non-white students that they feel unwelcomed on campus in the wake of Donald Trump's election. The white students and faculty members are being asked to vacate the campus for the day. So I guess it was voluntarily done before, and now they're being forced. Yeah. So the decision didn't sit well with Professor Brett Weinstein, who sent an all-staff email arguing that the new approach radically changes the nature of the event from aspirational to condemnatory. Wow. Moving on. Stop telling people of color they're fucking useless, a female student demands of Weinstein at one point. You're useless. Get the out of here, she adds. You piece of... As her peers... As her peers asked Weinstein for an explanation for his email. Weinstein attempts to answer, asking, "May I answer that question?" But the student protesters suddenly decide that they no longer want an explanation and respond with a resounding no. Wow, this is just ridiculous. "You said some racist shit. Can you apologize?" one protester shouts. To which Weinstein responds by saying, I did not, even noting that he had been in favor of the Day of Absence until organizers encouraged the white faculty members and students to leave the campus. Alright, well, let's take a look at the email.
When you first described the new structure for the Day of Absence, Day of Presence, at the past faculty meeting, where no room was left for discussion and question, I thought I must have misunderstood what you said. later emails seemed to muddy the waters further. While inviting commitments to participate, I now see the bold-faced text in this email that I indeed understood your words correctly. There's a huge difference between a group or coalition deciding to voluntarily absent themselves from a shared space in order to highlight their vital and underappreciated roles, the theme of the Douglas Turner Ward play, Day of Absence, as well as the recent Women's Day walkout, and a group or coalition encouraging another group to go away. The first is a forceful call to consciousness, which is of course crippling to the logic of oppression. The second is a show of force. The second is a show of force and an act of oppression within itself. You may take this letter as a formal protest of this year's structure, and you may assume I won't be on campus for the Day of Absence. I would encourage others to put phenotype aside and reject this new formulation, whether they have registered for it already or not. On a campus, one's right to speak or to be must never be based on skin color. Yeah, I don't see what's wrong with that. Alright.
So this guy got an interview on Tucker Carlson. So let's check that out.
Time now for campus craziness, and tonight the title is not an overstatement, it really is crazy. Consider Evergreen State College in Washington and Olympia. Every year the school holds a day in absence. In years past, non-white students symbolically left campus and attended anti-racism events. This year, student activists demanded that all white people leave campus or else. Brett Weinstein refused. He's a professor at Evergreen State, and he called the race-based demand, quote, a show of force and an act of oppression. What exactly was going on there? What happened?
Well, what happened is that 50 or so students decided to disrupt the class that I was holding that morning and demand my resignation.
Because you wouldn't leave campus because you're white?
Well, they imagine that I am a racist and that I am teaching racism in the classroom, and that has caused them to imagine that I have no right to speak, that I am harming students by the very act of teaching them.
This whole story is so over the top that even though we do a lot of these, it's hard for me to believe it's real. So the core demand is that all people of your skin color leave the campus. Your president is a guy called George Bridges. Where was he?
Bridges.
Why isn't, there he is right there. Why, George Bridges is supposed to be running this school. Why is he allowing a mob to threaten one of his professors?
Dr. Bridges is allowing this mob to effectively control the campus, and they have been in control since 9:30 on Tuesday morning. At this moment, I believe Dr. Bridges is answering a set of demands put forward by the protesters, and they have said that if he does not accept their demands, that there will be violence. I do not know what his response to those demands is going to be, but I know that that's taking place at this hour. He has also told the police to stand down. So although the campus police have a sense of what it is that needs to happen in a circumstance like this, they have been hobbled by the fact that they answer to the college administration, and in fact for several days have been barricaded in the campus police station.
Oh my gosh, you said people shouldn't be allowed to speak or not on the basis of their skin color, which seems like a foundational belief of the left, and one that I agree with strongly. And for that, they physically threatened you and are trying to get you fired.
All right, I'll leave a link to the full video in the description below. So that was a few days ago. Where are we now? Professor Brett Weinstein had an interview with, I guess it was King 5 News. Here's a little clip of that.
Downtown Olympia. We're holding class here because I have been told by the chief of police that it is not safe for me to be on campus. The police are currently locked down in the police station, and the chief told me that she was not in a position to protect me if something were to happen. I in fact tried to come here by bicycle this morning, and when I encountered the chief of police, she told me she was very concerned about my riding a bicycle, that if I was to be identified, that she was concerned for my safety. It is also true that students have apparently had pictures circulated online that advertise that people who are either my current students or who are supportive of me for whatever reason, their pictures are made available to other folks. The reason isn't clear, but it's obviously menacing to have people circulating pictures that will be identified.
These students are not only here because they want to get an education, they're here off campus as well because they're concerned for their safety.
They are concerned for their safety, and I must say many were concerned for their safety and my safety, frankly, on Tuesday. It was quite intense.
So where does that leave us? Links will be in the description below. If you want to check out any of the sources that the stuff came from, I advise you to check it out for yourself and follow along with the story, see where it goes, because it's pretty crazy where things are headed. If a literal violent mob can demand other people do things, where are we at? Literally on college campuses. I'm Tyler with The Open Debate, and good luck.